Hi, I'm Olivier. I'm a compulsive eater. I weigh and measure 3 meals a day of the gray sheet. I am committed with a sponsor. I declare those meals every day, and I don't eat nothing, absolutely nothing in between, and without exception. And abstinence is the most important thing in my life. My day one was on 14 November last year, so it's today 108 day. I'm following gray sheet meetings, and it's not a diet. I needed time to understand it, and it's just eating. It's a food matter, and I just love my food today, which is also one of the miracle of this program. I arrived there, as many of us, with compulsive overeating, meaning being, this is a gentle word to say I was a slave of the food and totally addicted to food. And from before, one of my favorite addiction in my life, and during my addiction too, in another way that I wouldn't eat anything, and but drugs and alcohol only, and during my recovery, which was the most shocking event of my life. Meaning, I enter in recovery from alcohol and drugs, and I thought that was it. And after 1 year and a half, I took over 20 kilos. This is 40 pounds or so, somehow ish. And after quitting tobacco, I took another 20 kilo. And after a bunch of years, I took another 20 kilo. And finally, I was on my couch, not able to move, suffering from morning to night, and realizing I had a long story of compulsive eating and of food addiction, and that it has been the story of my life. Suffering when I was a kid, both way rejection and being the clown all the time, and I have a easy relationship and an easygoing guy, so I would make a lot of friends, and people used to see me eating like crazy, and they love me like that, and meaning I thought they loved me like that, but they were seeing I was suffering a lot, and the suffer is a threefold measure too. The pain, how I hurt, is a threefold measure. Physically, a lot, I end up with diabetes, with terrible consequences. I almost died when the COVID, and when I had COVID last year, and but also not breathing well, not being able to move, not being able to follow the people I love, not even being able to do love with a person I love, and that I see sometimes in the last year, and when we met last summer, I was so ashamed by myself, that I wasn't able to touch her and her to touch me, and we had a flirt, but it's meaning it's such a loneliness and such a hate and a despair of myself, and finally, a friend of mine in another program said to me about the gray sheet, and he said to me to try it at last one time in my life. And I came to the first meeting, and it happened to me exactly the same thing. Not exactly, but it happened to me a thing that happened to me in the other program when I came back in the 2000. I was in the meeting with goosebumps, and each person that was talking my story, and I tried to share on the first day, and I cried, and it was too much. It was too much to realize that I was at this point of desperation, which is a gift also, and to realize that the solution was so tough, man. When I heard that, I couldn't believe my ears, and I wouldn't accept it, but I was knowing it was the only thing to do. And I was knowing that if I would have the choice, to do whatever else, it wouldn't work with me. I tried diets, I tried a miracle solution, I tried deprivation, I tried everything, and so I surrender to that will to weigh and measure. Some people say to me to go to buy me a scale, which I found like crazy. I wouldn't even know where you buy a scale. and after spoons and stuff, and I did that, and I started. It was taking me time, and it was incredible, difficult, and all my food get rotten in my fridge because I was cutting little pieces and stoking and doing a mix-up. Like, it was unbelievable. And but I kind of love it, Plus, I was welcomed by people there, and they talk my language with the food. I could really strongly relate to what people were talking about, and on a physical level, on a sentimental and affective level, on the relationship with the food, with others, with themselves, and strongly relate to the emotional level, and it turned like super incredible in the first days. Emotionally, it was so crazy. And it was not crazy, but it was deep. It was a strong emotion, I had, thank you, Nancy, I acknowledge. I had, I don't know how you call it, the ground wheat, meaning it was like moving a lot in my head, in my feelings. And and it's not a story of feelings, but meaning that connection with the feelings helped me a lot to listen to people, to share compassion with people I met there in those meetings, and to share with others after with a gray sheet, like the time is running up, meaning I shared with a sponsor. I share my meal every day. I'm committed to that, and that was an adventure too. When I share with my sponsor, sometimes he wouldn't know, because I was very creative at the beginning, and he said to me, I'm going to ask my sponsor, which was very attractive to me, meaning I in the other program, I never seen people sponsoring this way. So that was also very interesting. And I read that clarified paper of the gray sheet, and there is that thing on the symbol. There is that thing now that I hear very few times. To thine own self be true. I had to search the dictionary where it come from, and the Hamlet thing, and to be committed with myself and what I think about it, and I repeat that to me, to stay committed to that. Because I think it's the solution. I think it's not that I don't think that it works. It works. When I jump on the scale this morning, I can see it works, like from the beginning, and I'm not obsessed by that. It's meaning I lost a lot of weight. I lost 75 pounds in not even 4 months, which is crazy. And but I never felt so good, I could stop my medication. I breathe so much better. I went hiking. I never went hiking for the last 10 years, and I did a number of things like incredible. And true, I experienced that thing. People say I heard in meetings, they say the biggest is the best. And I couldn't believe that at the beginning. I was like eating a bowl like that. It was too much for me. Come on, too much. I was eating all day long. I wouldn't stop to eat from the morning to the night. I wouldn't stop. Meaning I stop, I go on the couch and thinking, yeah, I have to go back. And I went back. And I did that all my life. And suddenly it was too much to eat a bowl of some abstinent food, And now I love to expand and I love to have great meals and I enjoy that, and I even start to enjoy that with some friend of mine, I go, they eat their food, and I eat my abstinent food, and it starts to be a real a real way, And at the beginning, I listened to, people saying the food, only the food, and I was kind of, because I have my steps on the other end, and I believe truly to that thing of steps for the relationship with others, for the relationship and for the drive of my own life, meaning I'm an addict, if I don't take care of myself, if I don't practice the steps, I'm just out of the line, and out of the boundaries, and I want to stay on the boundaries, I want to continue to measure, to surrender, to get the hope you guys give to me. And I heard that thing that there was no soft way. There is no soft way with the food. The food is the food, you wait 4.0. There is no soft way. 4.0 is 4.0. And, but the only soft way for me is to do it. Really, truly, if I do it, it is soft. And I am soft with myself and I practice care and softness with myself, which I discover few by few, and someday it's not like that, but same that for alcohol and other things, even if I don't like it, if I don't feel like it, I'll do it, and this too shall pass, and a truth is that I haven't been really hungry for so long, which is just meaning it's not a release, it's a gift. I've been hungry all my life, and even being hungry for things in my life, I had to reduce the stress, I had to reduce number of things, to not reduce, to reorient myself, and I don't forget this disease is really a cunning enemy, and it's swift from one way to the other one, it changes things, it substitute one thing by one another, and I take a lot of care to that because I have seen it when I try to recover from drug addiction, and it's because I think waiting and measuring, it's also a practice in my whole life, and it's also a practice in the way I can practice even spirituality, I try to not intoxicate by myself, and with myself, and I try to weigh and measure, and it's really what a solution. I didn't speak. I don't know how much time I have left, 2 minutes, perfect, I want to speak a bit of the meetings too, I did a lot of meetings. I was in the meetings almost every day, if not every day, sometime 1-2 times, One thing I like a lot is the people there. And at the beginning, I was a bit afraid by serious guys there, like serious people there, talking very seriously. But it's a serious disease, man. It's dirty. It's super dirty disease, and they deserve to be serious. And few by few, I started to appreciate this in people, that they are not cheating with compulsive eating or with obsessive ideas, and I've seen people here very attractive. I am very creative too. And there is that sort of softness and meaning I just love it, I have been helped by people on the telephone. People phone me that I don't even know, from foreign country to ask how I was going. One today phoned me to ask how I was going, and meaning it's a root disease, and it's a very soft and gentle recovery. I love the people there. If not the people, I don't think I would have made it there. And it's I feel I feel belonging to that fellowship, which is for me another very huge gift, and I feel totally blessed by what Grey Sheet has to offer, you know, and I'm also grateful that I could put that in my life, you know. It's one gift more, and so I'm gonna listen you, and thank you to be there at this meeting and having invited me to qualify, and I want it no matter what.